The 23rd Congress of Communist Party of India Marxists today adopted unanimously a resolution against the National Monetization Pipeline, which is proposed by the Government of India, which is a very aggressive and atrocious expansion of the privatization process, which was initiated by the neoliberal policy regime. It has gone further ahead of privatization. Privatization meant handing over the public sector companies to private hands in lieu of a price. NMP is its atrocious extension, where the major infrastructure, land-based infrastructure of the entire country in all segments like railways, roadways, electricity grids, petroleum pipeline, gas pipeline, then port and dock, telecom sector, their facilities, towers, etc. All these infrastructural assets is being handed over in tranches to the private corporates, virtually free of cost, on 30-35 years lease. And the private sector will be allowed to operate and raise revenue from those infrastructural assets and may share only a small part of it, like 10%, 15% with the government. That is the revenue generated out of the entire infrastructural asset, which is built by public investment, that is people's money, in which the private corporates have not spent a single paisa. They will be entitled to grab 80% of the revenue out of it by operating, and they are given monopoly rights for operating that, and they will share a minority. It is nothing but a loot of the national assets. The infrastructural assets handed over to them practically free of cost, with an unlimited right to, monopoly right to operate and draw revenue from it and take the revenue with them without spending a single money for those building that infrastructural assets. It is nothing but a plunder of national assets. And further extension to that, the government has decided to set up a public sector company called National Land Monetization Corporation to oversee the process of handing over the landed asset with the public sector, like railways, like defense. They have vast unutilized land, like defense sector, like telecom sector, and other PSUs for selling out that land for a throwaway price in the name of monetization of those landed assets. So the whole thing itself, when privatization practically failed, successive government could not do much on that front. Now they have decided to practically gift away those assets free of cost for a long-term lease with monopoly rights to draw revenue out of that without making any. This is an absolute perversion of the whole economic process, and the 23rd Congress condemned such a loot and plunder of the national assets and people's money. And this is going to affect very badly the entire economy, because these infrastructural assets are utilized by not only by people, common people, electricity, gas pipeline, petroleum pipeline. Common people are using. At the same time, countries, other industries are also using. They cannot avoid using this. This is an essential for them to keep their industry open. So, the private corporates, after grabbing those infrastructural assets, will also increase the user charge at their will. They are given that right to do it. And ultimately, the overall economy will also suffer in a very big way, and it will have a tremendous impact, negative impact on the employment generation and overall economic activity. The economy which is thinking about making a recovery, rather it will be pushed to the other direction. So that is the whole operation exercise. Again, that is an anti-people, anti-worker, and an exercise against the national interest. So 23rd Congress condemned it, passed a resolution, called upon the people to fight against this dangerous, destructive exercise.